chase the vision. Make your word when you say it be the business. No cap, God in my witness. Success feel better independent. Now that I'm in the valley, I don't limit. Quick Master P vibe, no limit. Falling hard on another hemisphere. Somebody tell the people Mr. Hemisphere. Mr. Hemisphere.
Mr.
Combo short like Martin. Came from the dirt room gardens. Yeah, need a yacht for the way I'm starting in the shit.
What it do? So YouTube. It's your favorite host, nigga. It's your favorite person. You know what I'm saying? I want to say what's up to all the kings and queens in the building. Alhamdulillah. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, everybody for subscribing. And if you're not subscribed, what you waiting on, huh? You know, life is short. I'm just saying. Really short nowadays. Mr. Hemisphere, you don't want to miss that.
Mr. Hemisphere. Mr. Hill, I'm a big dog in a small yard. I got it every dog, small yard. Flag on the plate, nigga, phone star. Rain on the path.
Right, let's get it. Let's get into it, shall we? What it do, what it do? Welcome everybody back to my channel, Saheem and Moolah Gang Entertainment Production. And I am the CEO and the founder of Moolah Gang Entertainment Production. So we're gonna be correcting a couple things from my previous live, and then we're gonna tap into a couple of other things. But most importantly, I wanted to apologize for the technical difficulties we had in the last podcast or live, and we seem to have all those technical issues that we did have previously taken care of, 100%. So thank you for your patience, and I want to appreciate everybody who still, watched the live and tapped in as long as they could. So yeah, we're gonna hop off into it. For those of you who don't know me, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little quick introduction. My name's Shaheem. This is a Moolah Gang Entertainment Production. So just to kind of like fill you in on where we're gonna be picking up at is where we left off at, obviously, which is I was talking about the Anunnaki, and just kind of trying to give everybody a good understanding about the Anunnaki and what research and what knowledge I do have on Anunnaki. Mic test, mic check, mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. No limit. Mr. Hemi's here. All right, so yes. So for years I've been following this researcher slash Egyptologist, Billy Carson. A very intellectual individual, very smart guy. I've gained a lot of knowledge from him throughout the years. And I have to say, at first I was a little skeptical about Billy. I was, because, when you're raised and you're taught a certain way for so long, it's kind of hard. And not just hard, but a lot of people just they're not trying to hear that. They don't want to learn or unlearn anything and learn anything new, which is understandable. I mean, you kind of get stuck in your ways when you've been learning that same way for so long, right? Well, people, even of the greatest people, the majority of the greatest people who've done great things in their lives know that it doesn't end there. Absolutely not. It does not end there. You will learn until you pass on and keep going. And who knows? who knows what's ahead of us or what awaits us in the afterlife? No one really knows. You know what I mean? We all speculate, but nobody really knows. Okay, nobody really came back to mention or to tell about it. So that's understandable. Okay. But anyways, so the Anunnaki. When I first started watching Billy and following Billy, it had everything to do about the UFOs. You know, they were still trying to keep it from us at the time, or more or less downplay it. And nobody knew. You know, questions were. You know, people had questions. People wanted to know. They wanted to know, which is totally understandable. Okay. Mic check. 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 Just want to make sure that's on. I'm not using it that much tonight. So I was a little skeptical about it, and I just kept putting pieces together. I did my own research. You know, ladies and gentlemen, when I say it pays to do your own research, it really does. And I understand why people say, you know, don't just take my word for it. You know, go do your own research. And and read. You know, reading is good, man. You'll learn a lot of stuff reading. I still try to read as much as I can when I have the time. But anyways, with all that being said, you know, little bit by little bit, Billy, you know, he proved his point. I mean, he proved his facts. He proved that the stuff, the information that he had, he could back it up. And this wasn't all just a big coincidence. Me, truly, I don't believe in coincidence. I don't believe. I think that's a word that we made up. It's like time. Time is an illusion. You know, we invented clock. We didn't make up time. We invented clock. So time is very flexible. I mean, don't really go forward. Don't really go back. I mean, time can go forward and go backward. It can bend. It can, you know. So these are all things that I like to say that the conscious, the enlightenment. And when Jesus said that he would return, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's exactly what he meant. Yes. I don't think he meant that he would return in the flesh. I don't think he meant that. I mean, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong, you know? But I mean, is it possible? Is it possible that he meant that he would return in the mind of others? That that he will return consciously in the minds of the righteous and the ones that follow, that seek God, seek our Creator, seek the Creator, or seek a relationship with the Creator. You know, and you know, hey, and that's just hypothetical. It's just a hypothetical. If you're like me, I feel very disappointed. I don't get mad. I just get disappointed, highly disappointed. And it disappointed me so much to the point that I felt like, hey, I'm just not hearing this. I bet when other people that feel the exact same way that I feel are going to be absolutely blown and going to be grateful that I gave this information. So I feel it's my duty to share this with y'all. So here it is, y'all.
Due to the modern era, and you see what Africa starts, but Africa extended up into the Middle East in that time frame, and these people were part of the African continent.
And this is
over time, as Mesopotamia became Iraq and Iran, and we know that the Arabs invaded that region. They attacked, they killed a lot of people in order to subdue the land and subdue the area, including Egyptians. And this is not anything, it's just a fact. They teach you this when you go to Egypt. I mean, the story is right there in Coptic Cairo. The Arabs came in and they slaughtered Think about this for a minute. If your God is all-knowing, omniscient, omnipotent, never changing, and all these terminologies that they like to tell you, and you understand that as to be supposed fact, never question it. But then at the same time, you can be, quote unquote, cast into a lake of fire for all eternity of torment for sins that supposedly, according to that same book and text, you had committed before the foundation of the earth. In other words, you were born a heathen, you were born a sinner, you were born this and born that. You're told that you're this person and that you're that person and you're so evil, and then you're coming out of the womb as it's trying to save your own skin by following the rituals and hoping that in the end it was accurate. Hook, line, and sinker, and said, you know what, this is what I got to do because everybody told me I had to do, suffer for eternity. So this is a big part of why I do what I do. It's about education. It's about awakening. It's about showing people that before you jump headfirst into something and stay with it for the rest of your life, maybe you should take a pause and drop some of that fear and start digging a little bit deeper, just so you can get a better understanding. And after that, if you still feel that that's the thing for you, phenomenal. Don't believe in religion. And the fact that I've said this 1,000 times, but some people are just finding me for the first time. I believe in a creator of the multiverse even, because why? My studies in quantum physics have showed me that there is proof and evidence that we are living inside of a creation, that there is a creator of all, and that this creation is imbued with an energy. And that divine spark that created everything in the entire multiverse is in every single atom in my body. I am divine and the divine is divine. So that means I am God and God is me. We are all God walking in the flesh. As a matter of fact, God is to be a human being in the third dimension, walking in the flesh through each and every one of us. There's only one entity. There's only one consciousness. We are all slightly different expressions of the same one consciousness. Separation is an illusion. Distance is an illusion. It's an illusion of the third dimension. Above the third dimension, there, higher than the third dimension. Aspire to. And so I do pray, and how I pray is like when I'm happy about something, number one is I thank. I don't give thanks and, oh, thank you, Lord, and all that kind of stuff, because the Lord, that's a whole nother podcast. But what I do, pure heart and gratitude and soul from myself to the creator of the universe. And when I am doing things like eating food or a meal, I command that the food be safe and healthy for my body. I'm not going to pray over a plate of slop, but if it's food that's good and healthy, I want to command that it's safe. In other words, that there's no salmonella in it, that there's nothing in there that's going to be detrimental to my body, no bacteria that was unforeseen, things like that. When I travel, I command that I arrive at my destination safely, things like that. That's my method of praying, knowing the end and believing in the end before the end. And why can I command it? I command it because fractal of the creator living inside of me. And so because of that, I walk in that path. Prayer, and so are you. Everyone is a walking prayer. What is praying? Praying is looking to cast a spell. A Christian may not want to admit that because they're going to say, oh, that's of the demons and all that kind of stuff. No. When you pray, you're trying to cast a spell. When something goes wrong and you start praying, you're trying to say words outside of your vocal cords to an outside entity, but you're really speaking to the universe. That's what praying is. Of weakness, low frequency energy into the universe, you're going to get more of that back. And so I pray from a position of power. And my position is thank you, unconditional, and commanding. If somebody cuts me off in traffic, I don't get angry and start chasing them down and flipping them off the middle finger and pulling out a gun and all this kind of stuff. I just say, bless that person. They could be in a bad situation. They could have got a phone call that their kid just got hurt in school. Destination safely. That's how I pray. And I understand now, through many years of dedicated research and studying, that the power to help and bless people in this world, and the true power to and higher levels of consciousness availability through spirituality. Because religion puts you in a box, and the box has a cap on it. And it only lets you go to the top of that. Top of that box, you're going to hit your head. After hitting your head, you just stay down here. Spirituality is the key rise and see things in different ways. It will give you inspiration. It will allow you again many times. Sumerian civilization was founded around 4500 BCE, right? They wrote down their history on clay tablets, but the stories themselves were likely much older and passed down from generation to generation. We know this now for a fact. We found tablets that we thought were like the oldest, and then we kept looking and looking, and we found even older tablets with the same exact story on it. So these stories are actually tens of thousands of years old, not just 6,000 years old, right? So we're talking about is that the Sumerian civilization records start 1,000 years ago.